So here's Charlie Hogwood again with the Personal Readiness Education Programs, and I am now sitting with Jim Cobb, famous author and, and good friend of mine. Jim, how's it going?
It's day 2 of the Expo, and I'm ready to go home.
Day 2. You know, a lot of people don't realize these expos. We're at the NPS Expo in Louisville, Kentucky, and these things are kind of emotional roller coasters, or like we get real busy, then we get a lull, and now we take time to do a few interviews, and we try to have a little bit of fun whenever we can. We're all doing big lectures and classes and stuff, and you're doing a bunch of speaking, and I've got classes going on. So here we are now, Sunday morning. So while everybody's off in church and doing other stuff, we figured we sneak in front of the camera a little bit.
Yeah.
So Jim, tell us what is going on with you right now. What have you been doing lately?
Well, as always, I'm in the middle of a book.
You are always in the middle of a book.
It just never ends.
You're like a little typewriter fiend.
I am. Yeah. I've got the day job, I've got a family, and I've got a keyboard. And sometimes I wonder which one is priority.
Which one's which?
Exactly. You press the wrong keys on the wrong person, bad things can happen.
Well, I know how that goes.
Let's see. I've got the DIY book that's out right now, Prepper Survival Hacks. 50 plus DIY projects.
Survival hacks. Oh, you know what? You got your book over. Hey, excuse us. Hand us a copy of Jim's book, please.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Y'all feel free to move about the cabin. We'll be right back.
Hold on.
If we're going to talk about his book, we might as well bring one in.
Here we go.
And from off stage, here it is. Prepper Survival Hacks.
50 plus DIY projects. All of them, or most of them, use stuff you've got around the house. You're not going out buying a bunch of special crap. Plus, the bonus is there is nothing in this book that you can't do with kids that is unsafe or is inherently dangerous. These are great things if you have kids or grandkids. Great little projects to do with them on like a Saturday afternoon. It's, we're building fire starters, we're building little kits, we're lanterns, all this kind of stuff that, it makes it fun. It makes it interesting, and kids get into this. If you like crafting, if you like DIY project, this is not sit on the couch and read. This is a get up and do stuff.
So that's going to be a little bit different than some of the other books that we all have out. So you're actually going to get this one. You're going to open it up and you can say, let's try this out.
Right. Exactly.
And when you talk about working with the kids, I am always promoting that idea. We've got to start with the youth. We've got to start with the families first. That build those inner relationships, because we're always talking about survival groups.
Right.
This stuff that you're promoting here is actually the fuel that gets those people working together and creating your survival group.
Well, and in addition to that, we always talk about prepping as a lifestyle. It's not something that should come and go. It should be a part of your daily life. And by instilling this into the youth early, it's not a foreign concept later. It gets them into that way of thinking at an earlier age. And honestly, the self-reliance skills, this kind of stuff, it's stuff that'll improve their life down the road. Really well.
Well, we found out, and when I do a lot of my lectures, I always use the example of, for example, my daughter. I have a teenage daughter. She's a typical teenage daughter, and when I say, come on, darling, let's go camping. She's like, oh, I don't want to go camping. I don't want anything to do with that. But when I take her out camping, because she knows how to make fire, how to build a shelter, and all that kind of stuff, when I get her out there, she's like happy to be there. She's like the first one to say, hey, Pop's going to build the fire. Okay, but you got to do it the hard way. She's like, no problem. She's showing it off to the kids. But those skills give them confidence. They get them off the couch, get them out doing something. When they learn how to use their hands and their brain in a resourceful fashion, like using these survival hacks, that's what's going to give them the confidence to in different areas of their life.
Right. And, we talk about fire starting. And I love building fires. I'm a pilot. I am a pilot.
He loves building fires.
Now, here's the thing. If you know how to get the fire going and nobody else does, you get just massive street cred. You really do.
We call it trail cred.
There you go.
You know what? I'm going to coin that right now. Trail cred.
Trail cred. You heard it here first. It's awesome. If you're with a group of people and it's miserable out, nobody can get the fire going, and they're using matches and newspaper and everything, and you walk up, and whether you use a primitive method or otherwise, and you're the one who creates fire, you are the hero.
That is true.
You are.
You know, that
It
is
doesn't
true.
have to be a survival situation. It can be you're impressing the chicks. Either way, you're the hero.
You know, I have a real life story on that. So, story time. I was out in the woods and we were out in the national forest on ATVs years ago, and I had probably 12 to 15 ATVs. We're out riding off. We had families, we had kids, we had all kinds of stuff going on. And we got way out in the woods. And the weather turned bad, and it got rainy and cold. Like all of a sudden, blew through. And everybody's wet now. They weren't wearing jackets and all that stuff. Freezing, and we were too far to get back. It started getting dark. So, you know, that can be a survival situation because hypothermia and everything else can set in, especially with the younger guys and the thinner people, the girls and the kids. And so we figured out real quick, all right, we have got to get this under control. I started directing people, said, listen, I need something that's dry to start a fire. We need to get all those clothes and stuff near the fire. Now, when it comes to drying clothes near a fire, big fires, warm clothes, little fires, burn clothes. This is the rule, right? So we got a fire going, got everybody dried up, and because I was able to make that fire, nobody else I was with did that. They were like, it improved the morale, made everybody feel better, calmed everybody down, and we saved, from getting hypothermia. So what Jim is saying is actually true. And at one point, you may have kids that find themselves in that situation. You're not there to protect them. So teach them how to do these things. Get the survival hacks. Get that resource going. But you've got other books and stuff going on now.
I do. This is my 7th book. That's number 7. Number 8 will be the Prepper's Communication Handbook. That'll come out January, February next year. And then after that, we've got another book under contract with Ulysses Press. We think we're going to do something with defense work again, but not for sure on the focus yet. I've got the website, survivalweekly.com. I've got the consulting business, disasterprepconsultants.com. I've got a video series that I worked on with Paneo Productions called the Make Ready to Survive series. If you just Google Make Ready to Survive, you'll be able to find the whole series.
Right, and that, you guys look right there, right over here. There's a whole bunch of the DVD guys. Yeah, if we turn this way, there they are. It's very professional.
It is.
Very professional.
This is a high-end production here. And I do want you to splice in some of the Michael Mann special effects from the shoot last night.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, we went to the machine gun shoot last night, and I saw a lot of stuff blowing up. The guy with the minigun, with the minigun shot so much ammo out of that. It was like a laser stream, like a garden hose of lead.
Courtney showed that to me.
Was that crazy? Just being there. So yeah, the Knob Creek machine gun shoot was last night too, and we had to get away and go check that out. So that, there's a lot going on with us. We're everywhere and having a great time doing it. What else is going on?
Honestly, that's about it right now. I mean, I've got the day job, I've got the family, I've got the writing, I've got the website. I've got a lot going on. I write for American Survival Guide. I write for Off Grid Magazine. I write for Survivor's Edge magazine. I've done work for Countryside. I'm always, I'm doing everything humanly possible to educate people, to get them on board with being prepared. And we're not talking about end of the world. It's not all about EMP and societal collapse. It's you're on an ATV stuck in the woods.
Yeah.
You're on the side of the road.
Yep.
These things happen to us every single day.
That's what I tell people all the time. People are like, oh, it's the dollar collapse, it's the grid collapse. Oh, sure. It can happen. May very well happen. Cyber attacks and space warfare is what I'm looking at these days. But it's true. You do get lost. You do break down in the car. You do get, you're out on the ATVs and it starts raining, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And just like you, teaching is what I really enjoy about this industry. I love getting out and getting a room full of people and just having that conversation and learning these lessons. And you do an amazing job with teaching.
Thank you.
I don't have respect for everybody in this industry, but the few that I do have respect for, because they know what they're talking about, and that's what I'm looking for. You guys know me. If it can't be backed up with science, I don't want to hear it. And Jim is out there preaching the good word about being prepared for all of life's little disruptions. Check out all of his books. He's on Ulysses Press.
Yep.
And the Prepper Survival Hacks is the latest one. And I've got his other ones, the home defense book. I'm real big on home defense. The financial book that you've got out.
Yep.
I've even got a couple of cameos in a couple of those books, and I always appreciate it. That's awesome.
Yep.
So
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The Survival Group Handbook is the single most important book that has been written in the prepping niche. It
I appreciate that.
Truly is.
I appreciate
and
that.
He's not paying me to say
I
that.
know it's a shameless
It's
plug on
just-
his part.
It just is. It truly is.
This is the movie version. So if you don't like to read, check out the Survival Group Handbook on
Which
DVD.
I need to get a copy of it.
I'm going to fix you up.
You've got to.
I'm going to fix you up.
Awesome.
It's not boring PowerPoint. We're a little bit. We've jumped into the world of technology and tried to make it a little bit more exciting. Well, all right. So we've bantered on for a little while. Thanks for participating, following along. If y'all got any questions, how can they reach you? How
They
can
can
people get a
find
hold
me
of you?
online at survivalweekly.com. They can email me anytime at jim@survivalweekly.com. I'm very active on Facebook at facebook.com/Jim Cobb Survival.
You are active on Facebook.
I'm very fortunate. See, my day job, it's either I'm really busy or I've got nothing on my plate. And my boss is very accommodating. As long as I'm getting my work done, I can be on Facebook, I can do this, I can do that, as long as I don't abuse it,
Yeah.
And honestly, one of the reasons I'm on Facebook so much is my wife and I will chat all day long.
Sure.
If she's got a question or something comes up with the kids, that's the easiest way for her to get a hold of me.
Right.
So I'm always logged into Facebook, if nothing else, for that reason.
Well, and you talk about having day work and stuff like that, and it's a good point because this kind of preparedness, of prepping, survival world, it should not be first in your life. It should be the second thing. And the same thing with a lot of the guys in this industry, regular guys that are just trying to share that information and still get through the regular day. And people don't understand the level of work that it takes to make this all happen. So, thanks, Jim, for being along with us.
Thanks for
We're
having
gonna
me.
do this again somehow.
We are.
You're on AroundTheCabin.com.
I am.
He's got a show on Around the Cabin, just like us.
Yep.
Tell us about it real quick.
I'm opposite you. I'm second and fourth Wednesday of every month, 8 to 9 Eastern, or no, 8 to 9 Central.
You're on Central Time,
Yeah.
right? We're on
Yeah.
Eastern Time.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of what time frame I'm.
Well, that would be 9 for us on
Yeah.
Eastern Time.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you're on second and fourth Wednesdays.
Yep.
9 Eastern, 8
Yep.
Central.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there is literally no format.
No, it's
It is
hours too.
totally fly by the seat of our pants. I'll come up with a general topic, and we rarely focus on that.
Are you
it just
kidding?
kind of goes.
Our show
It just
falls off
kinda
the
goes.
rails about 10 seconds in.
Yeah. There's the chat room there that we kind of sort of try to pay attention to.
Right.
But it's hard to talk and read the chat.
Well,
at the
you
same
need
time.
like I have a staff. Courtney's my staff in behind the chat room handling all this stuff. And,
Yeah. Well, see, my wife works nights, so she can't be there.
Oh, mine's available for rent.
I don't trust my kids to handle this in a professional manner.
First of all, have you ever seen the show Professional? I don't know. You could put professional
True.
in what we did. We're all the same.
But you know what? My eldest is very much of the Ron White school of thought when it comes to debate.
Ron White.
So,
Oh, boy.
yeah. So I don't want him anywhere involved
So
in
he
this.
shows up with a cognac and a cigar. What do we?
Yeah, well, screw you.
Oh,
So,
boy.
But yeah, we have fun.
We do. All right. We're unplugging this thing before we get kicked out of here. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good day.